What's up, guys? This is James at Locking the Value and Copy My Crypto, talking to you today about the wonderful world of crypto. I will tell you this right now. April is set to be a bloody good month for any of us in the crypto space, and I'll get into that in a second. So, spreadsheets updated as always. These are the 26 coins I've spoken about that I thought would do well, and I've spoken about them and done videos on them on YouTube. All of them have done pretty well except Grin. If you invested when I did those videos, $100 into each coin, you'd be sitting on a net profit right now if you're still holding them of $30,800 from a $2,600 investment. That's pretty great. I don't hold most of these, I'll be honest with you, anymore. There's still a few that I hold, but most of what I did was buy them, sell them at profit, put that money back into other projects. I'm getting a lot of requests about like reviewing lots of projects. Now I'll get around to reviewing projects, but I only review projects I think are good. Like, I know there's a lot of YouTubers that review project after project after project after project, and crypto after crypto after crypto after crypto. But I think people get lost in the shuffle, and fundamentally with a YouTube algorithm, you sometimes have to use a sort of clickbaity headline. And if people aren't watching the video all the way through, people tend to make bad decisions based on a title and a bit of positivity at the beginning. So I try and only limit what I'm talking about to projects I think are good. And I've seen a lot of the requests on YouTube, and I will try and any of them that I think are good, I will try and get round to reviewing imminently. Okay. So but like I say, all I do is try and focus on the good stuff. As in the coin I recommend on Copy My Crypto is one of the few that's actually in a positive percentage today, because all of them are just getting hammered. And every sort of time I spot a decent project, or decent crypto that's a good investment, either short term or long term, I'm letting the Copy My Crypto subscribers know. So if you want to know first before anyone else, check out Copy My Crypto. Okay. Now, guys, let's get into the market. There is red. It's just everywhere. And this volatility is extreme at the moment. Except Theta just runs. But everything's sort of red. And we've got to look at why. And why I think April is legitimately going to be a wonderful month in terms so this is massive, right? Bitcoin options expiry on the 26th of March. So this Friday, we are looking at, I think it's 117,000 Bitcoin, which is about $6 billion current prices of option calls that are going to get liquidated, that are going to be closed. Okay, that's the biggest in history, and that has major impact on the volatility right now, because people that did put options that were trying to sell are trying to push the Bitcoin price down. People that bought long on Bitcoin are trying to raise the price. So there's a sort of battle between the bears and the bulls at this point. Now, I think the next 3 days are going to be really, really volatile for everyone. But after that, we're going to see a serious run. And this is an article from BTC Manager. I think there's one on FX Street now as well. And the reason that this could suck in terms of a difficult week in terms of price crashes is a large part down to this, because there's going to be a lot of negative movement against Bitcoin right now. And that does have repercussions for everything within the altcoin market as well. Okay, but one thing that's really positive is there's far more people that are doing call options that are trying to buy Bitcoin, or in the long term, or certainly there's a larger call option sentiment than there is put option. So that means after these expiries, we should probably see a lot of bets being placed by big corporations about Bitcoin doing better. Okay, and there's only been the previous massive expiry was on January 29th, and that was 4 billion, right? And if we actually look at the chart for what the hell happened, right? So this is January 29th. So if we look and we zoom in a little bit more, what we can see is that round about here, we've got January 29th, okay? January 29th. So we were looking bottomed out at about 30,000, right? And that whole week, it was starting to pull down from 35 down to 30, right? So it dropped by a seventh in value, okay? But then look, 29th, the day that it happened, every expiry happened, all of a sudden, the few days after that, it was boom, boom, parabolic rise, boom, 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 parabolic, and then pullback. And that was, again, a smaller version of it. And now we're here, right? So we peaked out at 61. So let's go 7 days prior. Okay, let me move my face for a second, right? So we went 7 days. So let's go 7 days prior to the 26th. So we'll go to the 19th, right? So the 19th of March, topped out at around 58. Okay, so a seventh of 58 grand is about 8,000. Okay, so if we if the pattern repeats, we could see Bitcoin dip to about 50,000 potentially over the next 3 days. Okay, I don't know if that will happen. I don't think it will necessarily be exact, but I think we're gonna see lower Bitcoin for the next few days. But these patterns repeat, guys. These patterns repeat. So if we look at this here, this huge rise on the 29th after the $4 billion worth of options expired, then it literally took like 2 weeks from the 29th to, let's say, the 13th of February, right? You're looking at a price gain from 30,000 at the bottom to 48 grand. So it rose by 60%. Okay. If we see that replicated, now 60% is a huge run from where it's at right now. But if we see that replicated, then April, we could very well see the top end of the 70s and into the 80,000 territory for Bitcoin. And April and May have always been good months for crypto. So what we could very, very, very well see is Bitcoin have that run. And when Bitcoin has that run, guys, altcoins have that run. Now, if Bitcoin sort of stays steady above 52,000, there's going to be a ridiculous amount of the put options that are actually closed. If Bitcoin continues to trade above 52,000 for the next few days, or the next 2 days, I think it is, tons of those positions get closed immediately. So the quicker that the put option positions get closed, the faster we're going to start seeing the call options, which are the long bets, which are people thinking Bitcoin's going to run. And next month, because this is, like I say, this is the biggest one in history, a $6 billion expiry on Friday. And after that, I think we see a run. I think we see a run, big one, because this is just exactly what happened in January, guys. There's nothing different at all. The only thing different is the amount of money. But and here you go, market analyst Joseph Young wrote on Twitter that giant Bitcoin whales are presently holding on to their coins while small whales are selling, with the caveat that 1,000 to 10,000 BTC whales could be exchanges. In conclusion, he asked investors which side they wanted to represent them, right? Which basically what he's saying anyway, Bitcoin whales are not selling. Giant Bitcoin whales are not selling. And what they will be doing on Friday and Saturday, and they're going to be buying options. They're going to be making calls that Bitcoin goes longer. And that does suggest a significant breakout where we could see over the next 2 weeks into the second week of April, we could see potentially even let's say 30% run on Bitcoin, still smashes up into the very nearly 70,000 territory. But, you know, like I say, in January 29th, it was a 60%, it was a 60% run just for the first 2 weeks. If you actually look at the first 3 weeks or 3 and a bit weeks, it was nearly double. Yeah, it went up 25 grand from the bottom of say 30. It went up 27 grand. So it went up 90%. 90% in 3 weeks. So if that does replicate, whatever it closes out on Friday or whatever we see it at on Friday at the bottom, 90%, we could see it break into the 90,000 territory. Either way, I think it's very, very clear that just off of history, if we just look at how history repeats, we're going to see something big this month from Bitcoin. Really big. It might take a couple of days because even if you notice on the 29th, right, there was a bit of fluctuation for a couple of days after. The breakout actually happened on the 2nd of Feb, where it broke out a few thousand and then a few more. So, guys, I mean, and that's just the stats based on the evidence, right? It could be that something else happens. Remember the amount of external variables we have affecting markets at the moment, whether it's money printing or pandemics, whatever. So we're in a situation where there are far more external variables than there have been before, but there are far more institutions getting in, and that I think is we're gonna see a real run this in April. I'm really excited after seeing all this news. So I think the next few days are going to be rough. I think we're going to see a lot of volatility. Lots of red, lots of like fluctuations in prices are going to be massive in not just Bitcoin but the altcoins as well. What we're seeing is smaller altcoins doing okay. They're not losing that as much in value. We're seeing a lot that are sort of making 10, 20% gains when we look at really much smaller altcoins. But yeah, we've got 3 days, guys, and then I think we're going to see a breakout again, whether it's Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. I don't think it's going to take that long before we have a surge past previous all-time high. But that's it for me today. I will have a look at what people have requested me to take a look at, and if any of them are good, I will do a video on them. No particular order, guys. I can't get through the amount of comments. Anyway, listen, check out Copy My Crypto. The most recent trade is like I said, it's up 80% from when I spoke about it. And there's still room to run. I said it was going to be a 5, 10, or 20x over the coming months, but an 80% return in 4 days has obviously done quite well, and there's still a lot of time to go. I'm not going to be selling it anytime soon. But yeah, so check out Copy My Crypto right now. Take care, stay safe.